Other differences from this still as to whether we were making a vodka or a whiskey from grains, the steam jacket is one of them. Now, if you've been around a whiskey distillery or a grain vodka distillery, you'll have noticed that if it's done in a pot, which whiskey is, it's usually heated with a steam coil inside the still itself. That's a very cheap way of getting the energy into the still. The problem is there's not a very big surface area in contact with the material, so it tends to have to be run at quite a high steam pressure and therefore a high temperature. Now you can get away with that with grain vodkas or whiskies, because when they're converting the grains into sugars, they go through a process called sparging, where they spray warm water over the grains and rinse the sugars out. And that sugar solution then is fermented and ultimately comes into the still. With our process, it's really quite different. As you've seen, the whole potato goes into the mash vessel, the whole potato then goes into the fermentation tanks and ultimately into the still. So there's a lot more particulate matter coming into this still. And if we try to heat it with a steam coil, there's a very real risk that these particles would stick on the coil and burn and start to generate off flavours. So with a steam jacket like this, we can run at a much lower pressure and therefore a lower temperature, so the chances of this burn on are much reduced. It just gives us a bit more flexibility.